All right, chat. So we're here looking, chat. We're here looking at new map should be revealed season 10. I've seen it. I mean, I didn't see it. Can't say anything though. I don't know. I mean, Javi. Obviously, I've had my stuff with high res, right? Because I'm pretty quick to call them out, like on things that I don't enjoy, like things that I don't. I speak up. I'm real, but obviously being real has a price, in nowadays. So, like in my opinion, like I think it's like someone that's been in competitive for as long as I have, with being having so much, like I have so much info on like developing stories of players that played versus specific players, like team, like comp aspect. It sucks that Hi-Res has never hit me up for it. I've definitely hit him up like a couple times, but it sucks that I've never been picked or priored in that aspect. But okay, so I'm gonna go over the stuff of the stuff. But I don't think I would ever like to cast, just because I don't know. I'd be casting stuff that when I feel like I'm better than them. What's funny is I've casted for high res before. Like they had other projects and they needed a Spanish caster, and I was living in Georgia already, so I helped them out. But okay, here's so what I think is gonna happen, chat. All right, chat. So I think Kings. I was actually having a talk with my dad about that. I was like, Dad, I was like telling my dad, I was like, bro, like one of the things that sucks is that I'm just like too real and I don't keep my mouth shut. And then he's like, I mean, that's just the price you gotta pay, like if you're gonna stay true to yourself and keep talking about, because what I was always scared of when I was like, as things were happening, and I would, I'd obviously have, all of us have that devil on the shoulder and angel on the other shoulder, right? And like I would ask myself, even at times in the gym or driving, I'd be like, bro, like I want to say something, because like I'm like, bro, this is unreal. I don't agree with this. Like this is crazy. But like if I do this, it's not healthy for me in business. I should just be like, just not say anything. But then I was like, fuck, like am I even being myself? Like am I playing character to make money? And I thought even more to myself, and I was like, when I first started this job, right, and I started this dream, I was like, it's because I love competing and I love being myself. Like, when I go work at a restaurant, you can't be yourself. If you're having a bad day, you're gonna go in there and you're gonna be like, how you doing? You're trying to make that cheese, you're trying to make that tip. But I feel like at a higher level of thinking, like I'm not just chasing that extra dollar. I feel like at the cost of an extra dollar, I would enjoy being myself and saying what I think and what I believe. And I made that decision about like a couple years ago, that like regardless of it costing me an extra dollar, an extra viewer, or whatever the hell, however you want to look at it, it's worth me saying what I feel and what I think. So I made that decision like a couple years ago, and so that's why I've been upfront and just say things how it is. And yeah, sure, people don't like me, but fuck them. So Kings Ravens. Wow, this is such a good start, right? Like, such a good start. Fuck, I haven't watched Kings. I haven't watched Kings in a long time. I mean, they ended up first seeded, right? Like, I think the Ravens. The Ravens looked good, right? But I think I think it was more that the Hounds were drafting very poorly. So with that being said, I think the Kings, with obviously infinitely more pro level experience and experience in general, will not fault in the drafting aspect of the game. And I think these games can go really slow, and I think a slow game will be better for the Kings, Although the Ravens have proved that in a comeback game, they know what to do. So, with that being said, I think I'm going to give the Kings. I'm going to give the Kings 2-1. I feel like you have to, right? Like it. My heart says Ravens, but you can't think with your heart, right? Like, the logic and the math behind it, I think Kings 2-1. Bolts versus Hex Mambo. This is one that obviously everybody's spiced up for, right? Because this has a lot of hype behind Mambo, right? Mambo looked the best at this quality tourney. They looked the best in general. They had a sub support. I don't know if they're gonna bring. I mean, a sub. I'm lying. They had no subs. Sorry, that was the Ravens. They finally had the full squad there on LAN. And so that means we know the full squad is gonna be here. Bolts, I haven't watched too much of their latest games. I know they added Baskin. I know they looked a bit better. I give it to the Hex Mambo 2-1. But that's just live VP. You know, people don't like to understand or reason. They just pick what they like because it's easier and, you know, smaller brains. So Hex Mambo have been together for about 2 years. We played against them actually earlier this year at LAN, but they did not have Tricks Tank. They had, you know, it was the 4, and then a sub support. I think it was Rotwin actually. I mean, those players have played together for a very long time in general, whether it's been against each other. I mean, Trix isn't as OG as it gets. Deathwalker as OG as it gets. Zero Hose as OG as it gets. Johnny, he's obviously he's not old, but he's not new. You know, he's definitely been a top level jungler in EU side of things for a very long time. And then they have, E-Chrome, which E-Chrome I didn't know. I knew he was like a solid hunter from EU, but I didn't know that, you know, I mean, they enjoy it. They enjoy him. He's showed that he can play at a, you know, high level. So I'm going to say Hex 2-1. So it's going to be Hex versus Camelot Kings, and that is going to be a matchup to see. I don't know. I'm going to give Hex Mambo 3-2. Kings versus Hex Mambo 3-2. I think that's going to 5. I think this will be the craziest semis. This will be a really fun semis too. But this was going to be a very interesting one. And I think it's going to be just a drafting thing. I think it's going to be a draft game more than anything in this long best of 5. And then there's going to be Jade Dragons versus Oni. I'm going to say Jade 2-0. I don't think the Oni... I watched the Onis, and I think like they just got by because they had more synergy, but they didn't look like dominating. So I think the Jade might 2-0 them. I think they will 2-0 them. And then I think Leviathans versus the Titans. I think 2-1 Leviathans. I think Paul carries one game. And then we have Jade versus Leviathans. Jade versus Leviathans. This meta seems like it's Leviathan's meta, right? Like this is Leviathan's meta. It's not Dragon's meta. Although the Dragons have looked great, it's just not it's not like this meta does not promote like high level, you know, intense early macro. Like you can get away with even if PBM is at your red buff at level, you know, at level 3 and your purple at level 2, you know, like it doesn't matter like in this meta. Like if it was an older meta, I would put the Jade Dragons. I'd probably give it to the Dragons. But in this meta, it just screams Leviathans to me. I think it's 3. Damn, bro. 3-2 Leviathans. The thing is that I want Jades to win, but I also want Leviathans to win, so it's really hard for me. I don't know what to do. Like, I think it's 3-2 Leviathans if I had to put like 10K on it. And then it's Leviathans versus Hex Mambo. I think Leviathans 3-2. 3-1. And for the last predictions, give us your MVP. I'm going to have to go with Shinto. So you think Zap a 4-timer? Could be. And those are my predictions. Mambo beats Kings? I think it's definitely possible. I said 3-2. I said 3-2 Mambo Kings. The Dragons look good in this meta. Everyone's going to an event to watch 7 matches. Yeah, but those go. So first you'll watch these days. I think it'll be like the Thursday, then Friday, then Saturday, then Sunday. No, I'm sorry. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's pretty good. And those are my predictions, chat.